All right, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Breath of the Wild. That is right. We are still here. And before we jump into a new game, a new story, a new adventure together, that likely being Tears of the Kingdom, I wanted to take a moment to do just one more episode, kind of like a reflection within Breath of the Wild, to talk about my experience with this game and give you guys kind of my full thoughts as we explore some of the areas that have yet to be discovered. As you see from the map here, there's a lot of areas in this game that we never really, delved into. The Heber region, in the mountains here. I mean, there's got to be some good stuff in this area. Obviously down south here in the Gruta Highlands, another area that we haven't really fully explored, outside of what was necessary for the main quest. And then all the way over here, I mean, even this most southern region, we've never really discovered. Duval Peak, this other mountain, Champion's Gate, which, I don't know, feels like it could be something. And then all the way over here, we've got the Lanayru area. This whole area looks empty, and it's got to be full of secrets. And so, as another excuse to find a reason to jump back into this game before we move on to the next thing, I felt like it would be good to explore these areas, talk about my experience with the game, the things that I really enjoyed, the things that stood out to me, some of my favorite moments, and, all that good stuff. So, and honestly, I really just wanted another opportunity to, to don this shield. This shield looks insane. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the goal. I figured we'd start it at one of my favorite places in the game, Tarrytown. This is a town that we built on my own. We built it, from the ground up. We got all the wood necessary. We acquired the right people. And we turned this place that was once a pile of rock into a paradise, which I think is incredible. And so I found myself just standing here on that mountain right up there overlooking Tarrytown and just basking in it. And then 20 minutes passed and I felt like I probably should start the episode. And so here we are. I mean, in all honesty, if you were to ask me what is my favorite thing, what's the greatest achievement that I feel like I've accomplished when it comes to this game, obviously one of those things would be beating Ganon, but the other would be this. I mean, this is such a cool, look at this, man. I mean, and on Switch 2, it was all worth it. All worth it. Okay. I just want to come and take a look at this town. I don't know if we ever actually bought this armor, did we? Actually, I think we did. I don't think we bought the pants, though. We definitely bought the helmet. I think the headpiece is what we were wearing through much of the final castle. I mean, yeah, this is just nice. This is nice. But if we want to go full stealthy, we want to go full incognito. And yeah, this is the look. This is what we fought Ganon with. It was glorious. It was glorious. Anyway, I love this town. I really do. I really do. And again, like I said, the reason we're even doing this episode is because I want to explore some of the areas that we haven't really visited. But I also just wanted to take a moment to start the episode here in this little town and ask the question, why did we not get a house here? We built this town. We put in the work. We may have not, we provided the wood. We may have not built it ourselves, but, we were instrumental in the development of this place. It would have been nice to get a house. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Anyway, let us go out and adventure into the vast realms of Hyrule. We may have defeated the final boss, but we most certainly did not. We did not beat the game. We did not do all the things that one typically does. And so let's actually go. I guess we'll start at the Hitano Ancient Tech Lab. And since we're closest to this one, we'll check this one out. And then, like I said, we'll go and check some of these other far corners and see if there's any other Lionels. Perhaps there would be perhaps there'd be a nice little area for us to explore. I don't know. I feel like there's got to be more secrets here, and I don't know. I was reading many of your comments, and And I sensed a level of disappointment that the series had come to an end in what felt like rapid time. But I'll be honest with you, we definitely didn't rush through this game. I mean, if you look back at the 10 episodes that we did for this series, I mean, each episode was like 3 hours. I mean, we were taking our time with this game. And so, but I was feeling the same, honestly, as we rolled the credits and we uploaded that final video of the finale at Hyrule Castle. I was feeling a little glum. I was feeling like, I was feeling a sense of disappointment that it was over. And so I figured, hey, let's do one more episode. Let's talk about my experience. Let's talk about the game. I would love to kind of have this video start as like an open dialogue for us. I'm not a reviewer. I'm not a game critic. I'm just somebody that likes to share stories and likes to share experiences with anybody willing to listen and watch and enjoy. And so I really want to talk about this game from that perspective and not so much of like, what is the game good? Is the game not? Because at the end of the day, I think we can all agree this game is amazing. It's fantastic. A 10 out of 10 experience all the way through. Actually, I got to give it a 9. If I had to give it a number rating, I'd have to give it a 9. I think the fact that we can't have our own house at Terrytown is criminal. And I know that makes me sound petty. And to that I say, good. Good. It is petty. I did feel some kind of way about that. I really did. But in all seriousness, like the game, it's a phenomenal game. I mean, I had such a good time with it. And so, in this video, I really just want to talk about what the heck is that? Hello? Am I crazy? What the heck is that? What the heck is that? No way, dude. Oh my gosh, is that a boss? Oh, it's one of those dragons. What the heck? Okay, that's random. Anyway, I would say one of the first things that I really enjoyed about this game is the sense of discovery. You know what I mean? The ability to open up your map and feel like you could go anywhere. And I think that this was one of the first games to really do that. And since Breath of the Wild, there's been games that have had stamina meters. There's been games that have allowed you to climb everything. And I think that freedom, I feel like that freedom really started from what Breath of the Wild did. I mean, it's always a beautiful thing when you come across a game that you feel like changes the landscape of gaming forever. I mean, obviously people don't want to admit it, but you look at games like Fortnite and you look at games like Red Dead Redemption 2, you look at games like Mario Galaxy, I would say even earlier than that, Mario 64. There's a lot of games that have really changed the dynamic of gaming. They've changed the landscape forever. And I feel like Breath of the Wild is one of those games that really just has become a pillar of what future games seek to be, in terms of freedom, scale, scope, the perfect, I don't know. I feel like in many ways, this game was the perfect blend of cozy, but also action. Like you never felt like you were bored. Or at least I didn't. You never felt like, I never felt like anything I was doing in this game was tedious. I felt like if I wanted to experience the story, I could do that. And if I wanted to just mosey along in the endless fields of Hyrule, I could do that too. And it, what the heck is this? Even after beating the game, we still find ourselves stumbling upon just the most random stuff. You have done well to find your way to this spring. You who have overcome numerous trials and obtained the spirit orbs. The one you see before you is an attendant of the spring of wisdom. This is Nadra, the blue spirit of Lineru. This servant of the goddess has looked over the spirits of this land for ages, unknown to the world of man. However, the dreaded malice unleashed by Calamity Ganon has possessed its body and reduced it to this state. You who have received the spirit orbs, free Nadra from this malice. Show what your power can achieve. We have to fight this dragon? Can I just shoot it? Too easy. Too easy. Simple enough, I might say. Oh my gosh, no. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I take it back. I take it back. This doesn't look like an easy fight whatsoever. Wow, who would have thought we'd be fighting a dragon right now? Are you kidding me? I wonder if we're supposed to just go up. I don't know if it's gonna reach, honestly. Yeah, there's no way. Maybe we'll just have to jump from the top. Because I just realized we don't even have Rivali scale. Alright, this seems to be as good as it's gonna get. Just gonna stay right here. I think there was one on the other side. Wow, look how high we are. Holy moly. The fact that we can even see all out there. I mean, this is another thing that I truly loved about this game. And honestly, one of the big reasons I even decided and I was so driven to get this on the Switch too, is because I always felt like, in the little that I played of this game before, you know, I always felt like I was like, man, this game looks great. I just feel like if the Switch was a little bit more powerful, you know, I think 60 FPS minimum. I know that may not seem like a lot to most people, but I mean, it's a big jump in terms of just how the game feels, render distance, and all that kind of technical jargon that, you know, we often take for granted. And to be able to play this game now and be able to look out and genuinely feel like you can see as clear as day as far as Hyrule Castle from here, it's pretty impressive. You know, and it feels like this is the way the game was meant to be experienced. You know, and obviously this isn't to take away from... Really? Holy moly. Obviously, this isn't to take away from the Switch 1 experience for those that really enjoyed it on Switch 1, but, you know, I just feel like... I mean to credit the Switch 2 and what they were able to do with this, which I think was really... It's just been really cool. And so... Yeah, I think it added so much for me when I was playing this. I was running around and there was many moments through the playthrough that I'm sure you all noticed. You know, we were just taking it all in, just basking in it. You know, this game, it just felt so vast in a way, in the best possible way. Not to a point where it was overwhelming, but, you know, but really to a point where you felt like you were genuinely, wow, do I have to go all the way down there? But to a point where, like, you were excited and I was excited every time we got to jump back into this game and explore and do all the things, you know. Well, I don't know if we're going to hit this, but we are going to certainly try. Got to put that geometry to the test. may have run out of stamina. Well, I could have just waited for him to be like right in front of us as he is right here, but you know, it would have been cool if we hit that. That's all I'm saying. Well, there we go. Oh, so he's actually blue. The question I have is, how did we miss this? You know, when the whole time we played this game, we never came to this mountain to explore. Thanks to your efforts, Nadra, the spirit of Mount Lanayru, has been freed from the grips of an evil power. But a single ceremony remains. Now, loose your arrows through the body of Nadra to free the spirit of this region. What did that do? Oh. That is the spirit Nadra's scale. It fell when the arrow struck. It serves as proof of the courage you received from the one who served the spring since ancient times. Offer a scale from the blue spirit Nadra to the spring of wisdom. Nadra's scale. This precious scale fell from the blue spirit Nadra. It contains a bitter cold within. You can use it in cooking, but just eating it seems like a waste. I guess we're supposed to drop it? Maybe we put it here. Okay, maybe we actually do drop it in the water. Ooh, a cave that leads to a shrine. Rip. Listen, I'm not trying to sound ungrateful. Your path has shown itself. Now go forth. Okay. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I would have liked if that had led to like a weapon or, you know, something like cool, you know? But there's a part of me that feels like, knowing our luck, it'll be a giant core or an ancient core or something like that, which, you know, is also good, I guess, but a frost spear, a magic spear forged from ancient ice taken from the Heber Mountains. Attack when the blade glows blue to chill the air and freeze your foe. Oh no, we don't even have enough space for it. Rip. Okay, I guess we'll drop the... I guess I don't need this now that I have the... Oh, we have two, yeah. Cool. That's cool. I don't think we ever found a frost spear. Man, we look so good with our armor and our Hylian shield. I mean, talk about drip. Anyway, the scope and the scale is obviously, you know, one of the things that I truly enjoyed the most about this game. I guess we can balance it out, right? We talked about two things that I really did enjoy. We could balance it out by one thing that because there really isn't a lot in this game that I didn't enjoy, you know, generally. I will say, though, that one of the things I wasn't the best at, you know, because I know some people actually probably did enjoy these, but I wasn't the best at them, would be the puzzles. I found the music in the puzzles to be the same. It was the same music every time. As well as like some of the puzzles I just found to be really tricky. and confusing. And I'm sure these puzzles may have not been confusing to everybody. In fact, most people probably solve them fairly easy, but I've never shied away from the fact that I'm not good at puzzles. I'm really not. Like, I think I overthink them. And even the puzzles that we were able to solve, I feel like I was thinking too technically about it, or just trying to be too critical of it when the answer was pretty simple. And I did that a lot throughout my time with these puzzles. And so I found myself struggling a lot. And I will credit the devs for this. I feel like there was a great variety in the puzzles. Man, look at this whole area. Holy moly. Was that all that's here? Maybe we'll go in this direction and see if there's anything towards Lanayru Bay or Nature Snowfield. I don't know if there's anything over there. We're just going to jump. We're going to jump. We really have no agenda. We have no motivation other than to just explore today. I just want to run around and see what we can discover in kind of our victory lap, as you should say. I would say it's the best way I could describe this episode, is just taking it all in, all that we've discovered, all that we've accomplished and conquered in this game. It's a beautiful thing. But as far as the puzzles go, I will say that there's a good amount of variety in them, to the point where I never really felt bored. But I did feel like some of the puzzles were a bit tricky. Some of them I really struggled with, and I would say they were probably my least favorite thing in this game. And it's not to say that the puzzles were bad. It's just to say that I'm not a big puzzle person. So every puzzle, every shrine that we would explore, I really just, the whole time, most of them, I kept just thinking, man, I really would just love to be just exploring Hyrule. I just want to be running around, doing all the things, you know, versus like being in this shrine, doing this puzzle. However, I will say that most of the puzzles were pretty easy to beat. Most of them, outside of a hair few. I did like the ones where we could fight, the ancient, like a minor test of strength, or, you know, a major test of strength. Those were actually really fun. I wish that there were more. I actually do wish there were more combat simulations in the game, and not just with the ancient robots. It would be cool if they were like, you know, you gotta fight 2 Lionels. You know, you gotta fight 3 Taluses. You know, the normal one. You gotta fight the rock one. You gotta fight the fire one. You gotta fight the ice one, all at the same time. You know, like if there were more battles like that, I think I would have enjoyed the shrines a lot more. You know, I think, like I said, there was a good amount of variety in the puzzles. I just wish that there was a little bit more variety, like more combat. I think more combat ones would have been really cool. I think it would have been cool to have ones where you got to survive a number of rounds, you know, so you have to survive, you know, like you'd have to do ones where, you know, you got to survive 10 rounds, or, you know, maybe a major test of strength would be like, you got to survive 50 rounds, or just something ridiculous, you know? Something ridiculous like that, I think would have been, you know, stuff like that I think would have been fun. Target practice, challenges, or something like that. I don't know. I know I'm making it sound like they were, like, that I found the puzzles to be tedious, which isn't the case. Like, I didn't find them to be tedious. I just found them, there are other things I would have liked to see from them. You know, and that's all I'll say about that. And I don't know if you consider that to be a negative or not. You know, I think for me, that's just kind of like a little critique that I discovered. And who knows, maybe Tears of the Kingdom fixed that, you know, maybe it fixed that. When Tears of the Kingdom came out, I think I started the OG area, like the beginning area on the Sky Island, but then they announced that, you know, there was going to be like the Switch 2, and I was like, I already know these fools are going to make a Switch 2 enhanced. I'm just going to come back for that later. I'm going to come back for that later. Wait, is it going to stop raining? course it is. As soon as I was going to walk away. Look at that view, though. Holy moly. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. This was my favorite part. This right here was my favorite part of this game. Look at just the colors, the scale, the depth that the sunrise provides. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. One of my favorite things in this game was just taking in the view, in all honesty. Really? All right, so these ones go here. Really? They start moving now? There we go. Not bad. All right. But yeah, this was my favorite. This was one of my favorite things. I guess that was sunset, but still easily one of my favorite things in this game. Look at this giant crater. Holy moly. I'm so glad we came back to play this game. You know, like I said, I saw your comments. It seemed like you guys weren't ready to walk away from this just yet, and neither was I. I mean, I genuinely, I wanted to do just one more. What the heck? Oh, I can't believe that didn't, I don't know why I thought that was going to work, but. Easy. Too easy. But yeah, I myself, you know, found myself thinking about this game, and I felt like we didn't do an actual, like, you know, discussion sort of episode. And so I figured this would be a good chance for us to kind of talk about the game while doing, you know, just one more episode. All right, there we go. Well, that's pretty cool. Giant crater, though. The discoveries that you can find in this game. I felt like I was never getting bored. I was always finding things to explore. I was finding things that were pulling my attention. You know, it was, you know, it's not often that games can do that. Like, I feel like just about everything in this game pulled my attention, you know? Whereas, like, you know, a lot of games, you know, I find myself skipping a lot of things, you know, because I'm just like, not really interested in that. But for this game, I genuinely felt like I wanted to explore every inch of the world, all the characters, all the villages, everything. Oh my gosh! Speaking of villages, what was that beach village that we never went to? Was it this one, Lurelin? I think it might have been. Hold on. I mean, to think that there were villages and things like that we just never got to. I think that's cool too about this game. There was, you know, optional villages. There were things that we could miss, you know. Yeah, here it is. Holy moly, look at this place. Honestly, I will tell you this. I would live here. I would live here. This feels like a, you know, it's just such a nice little coastal, you know, Pacific beach vibe. Nice little cozy village. Oh, they got animals in here. They got birds. They got everything. This looks like an inn, perhaps. Pretty cool. What the heck is this? Place your bets? How'd you like to be rich without having to work for it? Simmer down. I'm not talking about anything illegal here. See those treasure chests over there? what do you say to a little wager on them? The idea is you pick any chest you want and open it. Simple, right? The best part is whatever chest you open, you get all the money inside. Of course, only one chest is worth opening. Don't come crying to me if you pick wrong. Before you go opening any boxes, you'll have to show me what it's worth to you. What's a bet after all if you don't stand to lose a bundle of it? A bundle on it. That's the part that really gets a man's heart racing. It's up to you how much you want to throw in. But the more you bet, the more you stand to win. A man like you must have expenses. Couldn't hurt to make some quick cash right here, right now. Am I right? What do you say? Okay. Now for the million rupee question. How much are you betting? Oh. 10, 50, or 100? All right, we'll go for 50. We'll throw 50 down. We'll throw 50 down. Looks like someone's ready to make some real money. I'll go set it up. No peeking while I'm fiddling with the chest. Got it? Why do I feel like there's nothing in any of them? Take all the time you need to choose the chest to open. Listen, look, listen, smell, taste. Okay. Can I just like do this? Of course not. That would be silly. I had to try it though. Oh, I don't know. What do we choose? Can I look behind them? Nothing. They all look the same. I don't know. Something's telling me the left chest. I feel like instinctively people always want to choose the middle, you know? I feel like the middle just feels like, yeah, it's got to be in the middle. But I don't know. Something in me always says take the left chest. All right, let's do it. Wow. That's unfortunate. All right, we're going again. We're going again. We're going again. We're going again. Okay. Let's go right chest this time. We're doing it. There's no way. We got 1 rupee? No, we got to do this. We got to get our money back. We got to get our money back. I'm going left chest again. This can't be real. This can't be real. I feel like we're getting hustled. I feel like we're getting swindled. Is it the same chest every time? Or are we just picking poorly? All right, you know what? We're going big time. We're going for 100 rupees. And we're going back with our gut. Right chest. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's freaking go, dude. What? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay. Because that was about to be really bad. I was about to flip this whole place upside down if we still didn't find a way to get that. We got our money back and then some. How did you score a prize like that? Can you introduce me to Lady Luck? Absolutely not, brother. And I'm walking away. I came out a winner. And that's all I need. You know what? Honestly, I feel like I think we came out even. How many times did we bet? We bet 3 times, I think, for 50. So it was 150. And then we bet another time for 100. I think that was, yeah. So that's 250. So yeah, we came out with a 50 gold profit. I mean, that's still pretty good. I'll take it. Honestly, I just wanted to soften the blow of all the money we had just lost. I didn't expect to come out with a profit. Wow, look at this whole area. This place is nice. place is nice. Wait, so they got an inn, right? Is there anything? Is this just a place you can just visit and sleep at? I never really took advantage of the inns. I know the inns can give you like extra hearts and stuff if you sleep in a comfy bed, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, outside of that, I mean, I don't know if they really have any utility. But I mean, it's still cool that you can do that. I mean, I like the things that you can interact in the game, even if I didn't necessarily interact with them. Let's follow these braziers, see where they lead us. Just leads us to this lake. Oh, there's weapons down there. Oh, woodcutter's axe and... And then that other axe I can never remember the name of. No, that's cool. I like that. That is cool. But I think this area brings up another thing that I really enjoyed about this game. It's just like, it feels like you're constantly rewarded for your time. You know, we're running around, we're just doing our thing, we're exploring, and then you come across a random village like this that has this beautiful music and just this really cozy, comfy vibe. There's really no intention behind this village, nor does there really need to be. You know, it's just a cool little chill place. It's got an inn. It looks like it's got a place where we could buy some items if we want. Oh, right here, I guess. Oh, it's like a seafood village. You got some octoballoons. You got different kinds of crab, some fish and things. You know, and it just brings the, oh, you can even buy arrows too. That's pretty cool. And it really just brings the world to life as you're exploring, you know? And so, you know, as I was playing through this game, I felt like I was constantly being rewarded for the time that I put into it, you know? And I think that in many ways that kind of inspired me to explore more, to see more, because I felt like I was constantly, even just finding this chest is enough to entice me. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty easy when it comes to games like this. Look at this. There's a chest over there. There's another one right here. Holy moly. And listen, it just had amber in it, but still. I mean, oh my gosh, there's another one here. Listen, amber adds up. I mean, they sell for 30 gold a piece, but, you know, they add up. Some fire arrows. Anything else? Wow. Wasn't expecting to find all of this down here. Rusty shield. All right. Now, another thing I really enjoyed about this game, because of course you didn't think I was actually done talking about the things that are amazing about this game. I mean, I'm really trying to limit it to the things that I enjoyed the most. You know, I could talk about, you know, everything, but I would say another thing that I really enjoyed was the music, especially as you're going around and you're exploring the different areas. You come to towns like this, like Hateno is something that comes to mind. I really enjoyed the music of Hateno Village. Purple rupees, nice. Anything else? Is that another one? Oh no, that's the one that fell. But yeah, I really enjoyed the music of Hateno Village. Even some of the dungeons that we did, the boss fights were they felt really epic. You know, it always felt like you were taking on those divine beasts, and you really were taking on something much larger than yourself. And I think a lot of that comes to how it comes to how the music is relayed and conveyed to the player. And, you know, I always say the music is oftentimes the most important part about the game. You know, music is really what pulls you in. It's what makes you feel like it's what sells a place as friendly or or a place full of foes. And, you know, obviously you come to a place like this and, you know, part of what you're experiencing is with your eyes, but a lot of what you experience in this game is with your ears and you know, the rainfall, Link's running, his boots hitting the ground. You know, this game did such a good job of creating this sort of like ASMR feel. You know, as you experience the game, I found myself just not wanting to talk as much because I just wanted you guys to fully be immersed in that experience as well alongside me. And I always thought that that was really cool. Just hearing the rainfall. I mean, it's some of my favorite things about, you know, real life. I love the sound of rain falling and hitting the windows, and, you know, especially when you're inside with nowhere to be, you just kind of get to embrace it and enjoy it. It's a beautiful thing. I love little stuff like that. You know, it's the little details that I think really pull you into a game like this, you know? Are you a traveler? Welcome to Lurelin. I'm Roselle. I'm the head of this village. Feel free to ask me any questions you have. Ooh, what is this village? Lurelin Village is a fishing village. When I was younger, I used to be a fisherman myself. But you can't go out fishing on a rainy day like this. It's just too dangerous. There are some fishermen here who amuse themselves with a treasure chest game. Oh. That's right. Chloyan runs a shop where you can test your luck in the treasure chest game. It's fun to try every once in a while, but definitely don't go crazy with your savings. Eventide Island. Large island in the sea. It's called Eventide Island. There are some legends about that island, so the village fishermen tend to avoid it whenever possible. Interesting. Is that the one island that we saw way back when? No, we saw it. It was, I think it was this. And we saw it from here. Interesting. I wonder if we could go to Soka Point. Looks like if we just go straight, we'll find it. But yeah, for me, I'm a big lover of games that allow you to just explore. You know, it's one of the things that, like, I often credit Skyrim for. Skyrim is a game that, you know, obviously it gives you like a central objective, a main mission, but then it just lets you loose and it just lets you explore. What direction will you go in? Well, it's up to you. You know, it's what I love about the Fallout games. I love games that just allow me to just explore, and I could do it in whatever way I choose. You know, I could go and I could take a left, I could take a right. I'd stumble upon a building that I really think is interesting. I run across some individuals that, you know, they need help with something, and, you know, you're constantly being pulled in these different directions, and it always feels interesting and exciting. And that's honestly, over anything, that's my favorite aspect about this game. I also love collecting things. And so a game like this that constantly has you picking bananas or finding rare fruits or just, you know, seeing a bug that you don't think you've discovered yet. I mean, there's so many ways that this game makes you feel rewarded. And like I said, it really just goes back to you feeling like your time is worth something in this game. Even if all I ever did in my gaming session, you know, because for a lot of us, like, our time is limited, and you know, we only have so many hours to play. And so for me, even if I just explored this general region and that's all I had time to do, I mean, there's still, like, finding this town and maybe a couple shrines. I mean, it still feels like you accomplished something, you know? And I think that this game does such a great job of creating big moments out of little things. You know, me just finding that village feels like such a small thing, but it holds big meaning. You know, it feels like a discovery. It feels like something that's genuinely exciting. And I think that, you know, not every game is able to accomplish that. You know, there's lots of games where I feel like sometimes you'll do big things and they feel little, like, you know, but this game, you do little things and they feel big. They feel important. They feel like they're going to help you on your journey. And I can't fully describe how they're able to do that. In many ways, it feels like a science, but it is still pretty cool that they're able to do such a thing. Yeah. Nice, 20 rupees. This sword actually looks pretty sick. We got this in Hyrule Castle from fighting that big giant thing. I kind of just, all I ever want to do is use the Master Sword now. I mean, honestly, how can you not? We work so hard for this thing. You know, of course it's the weapon I want to use. But yeah, I just say all that to say, you know, this game truly does feel like you're rewarded for the little things that you do and the time that you take to explore. I mean, even when we would explore big mountains like this one over here, you know, we would explore the sides of it. We'd find rocks and things which would have gems. You know, those gems are worth money, you know, and it's like, there really aren't a lot of moments in which you feel like you're just finding money. You know what I mean? But you're finding a lot of things that are worth money. And so, you know, you feel like your time is valued in that way. And that always feels nice, you know? Too easy. Too easy. All right. What were they even doing here? They were just hanging out or what? I think they were just, I feel like they were just having a good time. That's interesting. But yeah, even just listening to those birds over there, you know, I mean, there's so much in this game that feels so alive, and I'm so glad that we got to share this experience together. I'm so glad that you all, it feels like you all enjoyed it, and whether you experienced this game a dozen times already, you know, to allow me to experience it for the first time and discover things and be amazed by it. You know, it's, I mean, honestly, that was the best part about this journey and about this experience. And it's honestly what I love so much about this channel and about this community. It's that we get to share experiences together. And for me, at least, there's nothing more fun than sharing an experience, you know, a gaming experience or whatever it is, you know, with people that are excited about it too, you know. It's why I love concerts. I don't know if any of you have ever been to a concert. I mean, there's just something electric about being in a massive room or a stadium with people who are all fans of the same thing. Like that music, that artist, like you feel like you're, you know, I don't know, there's something about it, you know, I never feel more connected or more seen than when you go to a band that maybe was even like a low-key band, a band that you didn't think anybody else knew about, you know, and you're surrounded by people who all know about it. And I think that's a pretty cool thing, you know. I know we probably could have taken a boat here. In fact, I'm sure that there was probably a boat somewhere. I don't even know if this is like deep water. But, you know, I've already kind of committed. So we're just going to use this. We're just going to use this time to yap a bit. But yeah, I love sharing experiences and you know, I don't know, this game, I liked how I was able to really just take my time with this game. I didn't feel like I really had to rush it, you know. I feel like the way we paced this series out, I think worked out really well. I didn't plan on just doing 10 episodes. In fact, when we started playing this game, I thought that we were going to take longer, but I didn't want to take too long in this series. You know, I didn't want you guys to have to sit through 30 parts that would inevitably be shorter. You know, I felt like longer episodes feels like less to do. You know what I mean? I don't know. So, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, as we look forward to like the next game, I don't know. I feel like we're probably going to jump right into Tears of the Kingdom, but I don't know if you guys would like to see another game in the interim, you know, should we jump straight to Tears of the Kingdom, or would you like to see a different game? You know, I feel like when it comes to this channel, I mean, we try to do at least maybe one other game in tandem. So it feels like, you know, maybe if you're not a fan of Breath of the Wild, it feels like there's something else you're getting from this channel, a shorter game, or, you know, I always try to combine shorter games that are easier to digest with at least one longer series. And so right now with us playing Breath of the Wild, we were also playing other shorter indie games, which turned out to be pretty fun. You know, and not as like overwhelming. But yeah, I mean, I would love to know if there's, honestly, it doesn't even have to be a Zelda game. If there's another game that you would like to see me explore, a game that you love, a game that you live by, a game that changed your life, or a game that you just think is fun, or you just would love to see me experience, I mean, let me know in the comments. I would love to know. I'm always looking for new games to play. Even if they're older games, you know, I mean, there's so many games that I just never like got around to. I know this game has been out for however many years, and I'm only just now experiencing it, you know? Oh, it's a trial? I present you with a challenge. In your travels, you relied on your equipment you found along the way. Here, you must cast this equipment aside and face this trial with only your wits and whatever you can scavenge. Wait, really? Offer up the orbs to the 3 altars on the island. Only then will I acknowledge your skills and return your items. Wow, imagine if we just left here. Would we lose all of our items? Wow, we have to scavenge for items? Is this like a... I mean, this feels like the true Breath of the Wild experience, though, right here. Having to scavenge for items. Holy moly, just another thing in this game that we could have missed, you know what I mean? I feel like even after running the final credits, I feel like there's so much that we could still experience in this game, and I mean, it's part of the reason I'm glad that we're doing this episode, because gives us a chance to kind of explore some of the other areas we might have overlooked. He asked for it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Give us an axe. We love axes. It's better than nothing. Oh my gosh. I love how he kicks it and then hurts his foot because he doesn't have his shoes on. It's amazing. All right, now where are these orbs? There's one. Oh, wow. I bet you there's one up there, too. Do we have we don't even have any arrows. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. They really want us to survive out here. I love how the thunderstorm actually masks our movement, so they weren't able to hear us because of it. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's just another thing in this game. I mean, it's the level of detail and the realism, you know? I mean, like throwing a piece of wood on the ground and and lighting it with a fire arrow builds you a fire. And like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but a lot of games wouldn't have that sort of interaction with one another, you know, but this game does. And that's, I think that's just the coolest thing, you know, lightning striking, you know, forces you to change the way you play because you can't have, you know, you can't have metal on you, you know, because you'll get struck by lightning and stuff like that. I think one of the coolest things I discovered when I first started playing this game was the raft system. Like, you know, creating a fire, burning grass creates an updraft that allows you to ascend. Like, that sort of thing makes so much sense now. But that, you know, I mean, just the fact that that you can even do that is so interesting. You know, I think it's stuff like that that this game has introduced that I just find to be so wild. I really don't know if this is going to work, honestly. I don't even know how we're supposed to do this. Like, how exactly would we... Can we pick this up with, Of course we can't. That would be ridiculous. I wonder if I threw it in the water, could it then be... Probably not, right? I will say that is quite interesting. It's like it almost wants us to launch it from here, which feels very risky. You know, if you miss that, I mean, that's it. Oh, it looks like it can float, though. Okay, that's good. That actually is all we needed. That's all we needed. And that's one down. Holy moly. Okay. That one I was actually worried about because I was like, how am I supposed to, you know what I mean? Thankfully it can float. So even if we try to use the, what's the other one? The stasis. Even if we tried to use that and overshot it, at least it would still be in the water, I guess. I don't know how we'd pick it up if we overshot it though. Anyway. Yeah, so yeah, talking about the things that we really enjoyed, or that I really enjoyed in this game. The list honestly goes on and on. It really does. I mean, in all honesty, like I genuinely was so excited every time, you know, we were able to do another episode and jump into this game even further, check out the different domains and the I guess not domains, but more so. Does he have one too? Are you kidding me? All right, we're gonna need like 2 other weapons to fight this one. But yeah, even when it came to doing the other, they're not domains, but they're like, forgot what you call them. We don't have any arrows though. Oh, they're called biomes. Yeah, when we would do the different biomes. Of course he's awake. It's the lightest sleep I've ever seen. Totally worth it. Wow, the fact that he's still alive is crazy. We really need arrows. This may be surprising, but I actually heavily lean on arrows in this game. I use them for pretty much every combat encounter. I'm using arrows. Yeah, we're going to need all these weapons, though. We're going to need all these weapons. Every single one of them. I know most of them aren't going to do that much damage, but that's okay. Better than nothing. All right. Not bad. Oh, do we have any of those? I don't know if we do. Oh, man, we don't, do we? Wow, this is actually crazy. And this is all just to get a shrine? It's kind of bananas. I don't know if any of those octo things are even on this island. Maybe we'll just go fight him and then... Because there's one up there. Maybe we'll just fight him. Let's see, is there anything down here? There is not. That is unfortunate. Okay, maybe if we fight him, he has one. That's very possible. Really? Oh, wow, that did a lot of damage. Holy moly. Really? That did no damage? We're out here just trying to save ammo at this point. We're hitting him with the bomb rush. The bomb rush. It is a tried and true tactic. Wow, really? You know, we're just not even gonna... Easy does it. All right, so he didn't have one of those little balloon things. All right, let's just take this one up and then I guess we'll go see if we can find... I don't know, we'll go check one of the surrounding areas or something. It's got to be somewhere around here. Really? But yeah, yeah, as far as what we do next, I know we've kind of briefly talked about going straight into Tears of the Kingdom, but I would love to know your thoughts on it. You know, if that's something you think we should do, or I mean, I'm down to go right into Tears of the Kingdom as our next kind of main story game. You know, that's another game I've never really, I didn't really experience. And so, you know, seeing it on Switch 2, I heard it's even better. It looks even better than this game, which, if that's even possible. Really? What? We never got any arrows, which is bananas. Yep, just got us. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. But I'll take it. Oh, roasted mighty bananas. Now, where did our little orb go? I feel like we may have blown it up. Oh no. I put it somewhere around here. Wait, really? I wonder if it spawns back where... No way. It blew up all the way over there. That's crazy. I had a feeling when I blew everyone up on that cliff that it also got my little thing too. All right, a soldier spear. I feel like we don't need to fight anyone else. We just need to figure out how to unlock that. Actually, there's no way. I don't even know how we're supposed to grab this. This is actually my worst nightmare. There we go. There we go. Okay. I feel like we just created a whole new problem. We definitely did. Can I blow this up? I just wanted it to move to a different spot so it's not stuck on a wall because I can't put an ice brick. Oh, this is getting so messy. This is getting so messy. All right. I gotta stop doing that. Are we really gonna have to do this one at a time? This is quickly becoming potentially the worst challenge I think we've ever experienced. You know, so I think this is one of those challenges that you come across where you're like, yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next game. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I think we can get it. We just have to. We just have to be very, very careful. Just gonna throw it that way. Just gonna throw it that way. Oh no. Oh no. I can dash underwater? Oh yeah, okay. I totally forgot we could do that. Yeah, this is a toughie. This one is a toughie for sure. I think it's only because we blew it up that, you know, we would have had this already. Close enough. I wonder if I guess I could throw it over there. There's honestly no strategy to what I'm doing right now. Oh, actually there is. There's totally a strategy. We got it. We got it done. I guess the challenge is like, how do we get it out of the water? Oh, this is so messy. This is so messy. There it is. There it is. Listen, we're pretty smart, you know? I may not be able to solve even the most simplest of puzzles, but listen, if there's anything I can do, it's understand physics. And so there we go. Let's just hope that we can actually get it to the top now. That's another thing I really enjoy about this game. As we continue our discussion about things that I really enjoy about this game. It's got to be the physics. It's got to be the realism with the physics. You know, we talked about the updraft that you can create with fire and dry grass. But we don't talk about some of the other things that you can do. Like, I think the raft system that you can use, like you get a little raft in the Korok leaf, being able to kind of like row your own boat in a way. It's just, I don't know. It's such a simple thing, but it is pretty cool, you know? I would say some of the other things like, let's see, where's this last one? We already been up top. Oh no, yeah, the last one is up top. Forgot about that. Let me see if there's got to be a fish around here. But yeah, the physics around, like, you know, fishing and... Actually, can we fish in this game? I don't think we can. I just say all that to say, like, there's a lot of realism, I think, within this game. And, like, there is one. Please, there we go. Please. He did not have one. Now, I can't believe that, you know, it's hard to believe that that's the only way to get one, right? I mean, there's got to be another... I'm actually going to go back up top and see. There's got to be another way. They can't simply want you to collect one of those things, right? Rivali's Gale, hands down the best ability in the game. Hands down. Yeah, I don't really know what it wants us to do here. I mean... if we can't move it with magnesis, then I don't know what we would do. Is there not one here? Maybe in these boxes? I doubt it. A sword? Well, a sword is the last thing that we need. You know what? Maybe we can use it with... I don't know. There's no way to, like, hit it. I don't know how we would make this work. We need to hit it upwards. I mean, maybe we could hit it across. I mean, this is not like the most... Well, there you go. Okay. I didn't know you could do that. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Just like, wow. Blows my mind. You know, it truly is incredible. And there you have it. At the top of the cliff. A shrine. I feel like throughout our time playing this game, we probably didn't even uncover half the shrines that existed, you know? I mean, there's so many hidden ones. You've done well to complete the trial. I will now return your things as promised. Yeah, you better. We had a lot of good stuff there. We had a whole master sword, you know? I'd like to think we earned it, you know? All right. Stranded on Eventide. Oh, man, I mean, like I said, guys, I could continue to talk about all the things that I enjoyed in this game. I mean, there's so many little nuanced things. I mean, I thought the story was pretty like, you know, the story was the story. You know, it's Zelda. It's you had a bad guy and it's Ganon and he wants to destroy the world because, of course, you know, and you're the good guy and it's you know, it's a real like it's a real, you know, good versus evil sort of situation. But I don't think in any Zelda game I've ever really been too, you know, 300 rupees, not bad. I don't think in any Zelda game I've ever been too, like, I expected too much from the story. You know what I mean? I've always kind of been like, you know, it's good. It's cool. You know, it's whatever. So it's not really the story that pulled me in, but I did enjoy many of the characters. And like I said, the biomes, I really enjoyed. My favorite village in this game, hands down, Rito Village. The music in that area, the story. I feel like that story surrounding the Rito was my favorite. It did entice me the most out of literally anything. Oh my gosh, speaking of a Rito, there's literally one here.
Yeah.
Mimo. You must be drawn to heights. I want to live as the wind does, free and unrestricted. To bide here and listen to its voice offers a taste of that freedom. Don't you long to be like the wind too? I think we will be fast friends. I've never felt such kinship with a Hylian before. Your style of wing is different than mine, but similar enough that I think you could undergo my training to become the wind. Sure, I'll do it. What does that entail? And can we use Rivali's Gale? Because that took longer than I expected. My apologies, but here it is. Ready now for you to try. Ooh. Oh, it's like a little challenge. Oh, this is sick. This is sick. I love a good challenge. I thought I missed that one. I wonder how many of these have been scattered around the... Been scattered around. We only found 2. Thank goodness we have that extra stamina. I don't know who's out here just being able to do this without extra stamina. Ain't no way. And then we just blow them up for good measure, because why not? Because why not? Look at them. Look at them burning. Look at them. Look at them just burning for an infinity. Each and every one of them. Talking all that trash. Had no idea.
Oh!
You achieved 34 rings. That is wonderful. Your score is unsurpassed, even by Rito. You have truly become one with the wind, and so I must insist that you accept this reward. 100 rupees. Nice. That was fun. Oh, that was so random. Just happened to talk to a Rito. Now, speaking of Rito, you know what we got to do? We got to go back. We got to go back to my favorite village. My favorite village in this entire game. Obviously, that being the Rito Village. Because, yeah, like I said, the Rito Village, hands down, my favorite. I would say a quick second would be Zora's Domain. I really enjoyed the Water Village as well. And, I mean, I didn't really dislike any of the villages, but I would say my least favorite would be the Goron Village. Oh, look at these guys. Holy moly, the gang's all here. They're the ones who helped us to uncover that shrine somewhere around here. I think it's right over there. Somewhere over there. Oh, that's so cool. We got Keel, Kree, Gimli, Kotz, and Knots. The Fantastic Five. as they call it, because the Fantastic Four was taken. Anyway. Yeah, this village is my favorite. I love that it's just this beautiful wooden, like, fortress built into the sky, built into this giant rock. It's incredible. It's got the best music in the entire game. Hands down. Look at this. Look at this. It's got the best views in the entire game. Look at this. You got icy rocks on this side. You got lush greenery on that side. You need wood for Terrytown? Just come here. Just come here. You'll be all set. This place is awesome. Look at us. We did this. We did this, man. Okay. I mean, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. To think this was the first village that we came to. I mean, honestly, I feel like in many ways I should have saved the best for last, but I'm glad we didn't. Rivali's Gale, I would have been so mad if we got Rivali's Gale as the last divine beast, because that was something we definitely needed ASAP when we had low stamina. And it's kind of been needed less as we've gotten more stamina, but still pretty good. But yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, obviously there's more areas that I feel like we could explore. We got pulled off the beaten path, and you know, with the whole dragon quest and some things, and I don't want to make this video too long because we got to move on to Tears of the Kingdom. That is what we're going to be doing next. So be on the lookout for that video dropping very soon. We're going to be jumping into that game, and hopefully you'll join us for the ride. I mean, I just wanted to take a moment, revisit this game, do a little reflecting on some of the things that I really enjoyed. I know I didn't touch all the major points, you know, but I tried to just, I wanted this to be as unscripted as possible and just kind of focus on the things as they came to me: the environment, the sounds, the music, the exploration, the sense of discovery, the being rewarded for your time. You know, those are just some of many things that I found to really enjoy. This outfit, I mean, come on, it looks insane. This outfit looks so sick, and so much more. Honestly, I enjoyed every minute of playing this game. I never felt bored. I never felt overwhelmed. I felt like all I ever wanted to do was explore, and this game does that in the best way possible. And so, while it is a bit bittersweet to see such an incredible journey come to an end, I mean, there's still hope. There's still something to look forward to with Tears of the Kingdom, which will hopefully possess many of these same areas, you know, that we've come to know and love. I know I've heard that it's kind of like a very similar map, maybe a little bit bigger. And so, you know, I'm excited to see these areas in the next game, and excited to explore that game with you all. Honestly, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you'll join me for that. If there's another game that you would like to see us try or play or experience in the future, drop it in the comment section. I would love to know what games you live by, what games you've come to really enjoy. We love to experience good stories here. And so if there's a game that you think I would enjoy, or one that you'd love to see me try, let me know in the comments. Drop a like on this video if you do enjoy. And thanks again for letting me entertain you a little bit for one more episode of our Breath of the Wild adventure. This was an incredible game, and a lot of what made it incredible was each and every one of you jumping in the comments, expressing your love and your excitement for this series. I hope that I was able to provide you with at least a little bit of cozy commentary for your viewing pleasure. If I was, like I said, drop a like on this video, comment down below what your favorite part of this series was, and once again, like I said, thank you so much for joining me. We got so many other series to explore, so many other games to explore, so many stories to unravel together. And honestly, I can't wait for it. And so that is all for me, ladies and gentlemen. That is all for our journey through Breath of the Wild together. I think I'm going to continue to play this game, but I'll probably be playing it on my own time, just exploring some of the nooks and crannies and crevices of things that I didn't explore, as we move on together to Tears of the Kingdom. And so,
Daruk's protection is now ready to roll.
So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the love, and I will see you in the next series.